Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. The more familiar camera angle is back. We've got a different camera, we've got a new seating position, we've got a new monitor. We've got a new race rig, we've got a new steering wheel, everything is looking rosy. Well, we think everything's looking rosy. We're going to try and carry on with the next grind. Self-comfortable. Let's head off to Circuit of Spa. Now, what we do know is we will be very closely running out of rate cars for this event. So here we go. We're taking the GT1 TS020 99 with racing medium tyres. Let's take a look at the full setup. Now, as you know, this is one of those cars that goes to Le Mans. It is impeccably one of the finest cars, but to run the race, but to never win it. Let's see what today's setup's going to be to try and not necessarily reverse that process, but to set it up for taking it to Le Mans. So, racing mediums all the way round. Fully customizable suspension is set to default. Fully customizable gear is set to 555. It's the magic one. We've got all the rear downforce and all the front downforce. Full ECU. Ballast at 147, put at 9 to the front. To bring that ballast position back to 50-50. Power restricted to 79. Fully customizable manual gear at 360, medium RPM turbo with no anti-lag, and we have all the brake balance set to the front. That's everything we've got. Let's get to the race. Now that I'm in my race rig, would it not be appropriate to have some good shoulder straps? I fancy a racing harness. I know it'll make me look like a dick because I'm not in a race car, but I really fancy a harness. Yeah, I think that's a Christmas list. I think that's on the Christmas list. Anyway, we're at the Spa 24 layout. This is a 60 minutes. We're going to see noon, night, rain, sleet, snow. We're going to see everything. In the next hour, we're going to do 24 hours of a day at Spa. Not Le Mans, at Spa. Settings will be Assist Traction Control 1, Weak ABS, Counter Steer Assistance on Strong. For controller settings, we're on a Fanatec DD Plus Extreme with V3 inverted pedals. So we've got force max torque feedback at 3 and force feedback sensitivity at 10. Settings we can go into if you like. I'm normally using a G29, but we're using this. Now, for those people that don't know, what we try and do is we make the grind easy. You've got to earn those credits to buy all the cars. I am 14 cars away from completing every car in the game. I've had to sell a couple to buy some extra cars, but we will buy them back. The idea is to have collected and owned at least every car once. But we'll get to it. So, we make the grind easy and give you the opportunity to try and test every car you buy, because that's the way we like to play the game. We like to play the game for the right reasons. Anyway, we're going to get stuck in and we'll talk about it. Let's go. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dive into this. Let's see what we've got. Fuel map says we're going to get around about 10 laps out of this set of fuel. So we've got to make these tyres last as long as that. Let's get cracked on. Now we're expecting outlaps of a good car to be less than 2 minutes. That's when we know we're in a good car. If you've got an outlap amongst all the traffic, if you're into the top 10 and 2 minutes down, yeah, a lap time of 2 minutes, I mean, you're in a decent car. Now I've had to buy a second one of these. We've adorned this with a new livery, and we'll get to look at that livery in one of the pit stops later, and we'll talk about what it means and what it's about and why it's been created. But at this point, I couldn't not have a car with its original livery, so I've actually spent the extra $2.5 million to have a second car because I want to keep one in its original splendour. So here we go, we're just about to enter the top 10. We're going to file past these bad boys, see if we can find the racing line for it. We can. Lift, stab the brake a tad, get through that corner. We're into 7th place. Here we go. A 1:57.4. That is an especially good lap. And we want this car to be quick because I have a lot invested in this car in emotions and knowledge. As we said at the introduction of the car when we did the setup, this is the most iconic car never to win Le Mans. It came second. And with that being the case, I have a connection with this car, not for its physical thing, but as a younger man, I used to race scale electrics on a competitive basis. So I attended a club in London, and we oh, sorry, Mr. Lopez. I'd have been boxed in here. Let's squeeze down the middle. 2 nights a week, 1 practice night, 1 race night. We used to go and enjoy a bit. Then we used to do the Le Mans 24-hour races. The full thing, overnight, through the day, all the day. Have a bit of a sleep during the night. In the early hours, 2 or 3 hours of a stint racing the old scale electrics car when we could. Getting a bit of a race on. But this was one of the cars I had in my race box. It was a slotted GT1. It was absolutely phenomenal car. There was not a lot of plastic to it. It was very, very lightweight. The paint job wasn't really good, but it etched its own little memory in my brain. However, we're coming up to 1st and 2nd and 3rd, and we're putting them behind us. I'm really hoping this car over the course of this race can slap in a 2:11. A 2:11 would be tremendous. I don't think we're going to get it this early in the race. I need 10 seconds from this corner to the line, so a second lap being a 2:12.187 though is absolutely earth-shattering for cars that we've had here. This will make this the fastest car in the game. Now I think I've had a little bit of time to tune this one a little bit more and to give it more than just the basic tune. Normally I would just use bolt-on parts, tune the aero, and away we go. Normally change component parts for the lower PP rated parts just so we got that bit more. It'd have hard tyres. On this occasion we've really tried to balance the weight correctly, make it a bit more drivable, put some medium tyres on, see if we could optimise for a strategy. We're aiming for a 2-stop. We want to stop every 20 minutes. Locked up the front brakes then coming into that corner. I was a bit overzealous, carrying a bit too much speed. Got to learn to coast these cars through the apex. As you can see, that tuning works out to even wear across all 4 tyres, which you don't often see in these Le Mans cars. You normally get excessive rear wheel drive, well, rear wheel wear. What we're going to try and do here is just get as far as we can ahead before the evening sunshine fades away, before any rain comes around. As you can see, it's a beautifully clear afternoon. And it's looking like there's a possibility of a 2:10 if we really get our shovel on. So Mr. Fraga's in 2nd place, Izal 3rd, Beauvoir 4th, Yamanaka in 5th. We slam the gears all the way down there. Mr. Lopez in 6th, Mr. Grady 7th, Miazano in 8th. And there you go, there's a 2:10. 8:44. which in its own little way just shows testament to how fast this car is. Full fuel load. I think other cars can go as quick as this. I mean, we've demonstrated with the Peugeot that there's some rapid times available. There. But what you might have realised there is that we had a wheel disconnect, and that's the next thing to talk to you about. I was waiting for it to happen. So as you know, over a couple of weeks, well, it's 10 days now, we've had the rig set up. We've been not entirely comfortable on the rig, and I've talked more about not having the correct monitor, maybe the seat not being high enough, maybe the screen being too close. Well, we've got that resolved today. We've dropped to a smaller screen, a 27. We've increased the height of the seat by buying some more aluminium and boosting the seating position. We're therefore over the pedals more. The steering wheel is at a suitable height to our arms and shoulders. But then that's the rig sorted, and if you were watching the race last night on the live stream and you watched what happened afterwards when we went to practice, I started to suffer disconnects, and I thought it was because I'd not put the right drivers on the wheel. So I've gone through, redone all the drivers, made sure we're updated to the latest set as per advice, and now I'm still getting those disconnects today. So I've been inquiring on the Fanatec forum as to what the process is, where we're going. And I'm seeing posts saying wait for the next driver, which is going to be mid-March. Well, we're past mid-March. I'm already on version 1.007, which is where I'm led to believe the problem is. But people are also saying roll back your base driver to 4.55. Well, I'm on 4.57, I believe, having gone to 4.56 yesterday. So if I've got to go back to 4.55, maybe that's what we need to do. And I can force a rollback, I believe, and I just need to understand how that is. That's tomorrow's job, rolling back the drivers. But I've been told just to be wary about bricking your base unit. If you brick your base unit, you are in a world where you have just spent £1,000 on nothing. So it'll be in the hands of Fanatec. I'm going to raise a ticket. I'm fully aware that they know the solution and it's wait for the next driver, but they also have to know who's experiencing these problems, or do they actually know. I don't have a hardware fault, I believe. I think it's just a software driver issue, which they might have not got 100% right, but this goes to prove that the consumer is testing the product, which is common nowadays, isn't it? Unless, of course, you're EA Sports and you're developing a game called Skate, which I keep getting invites to go and test, and I keep declining politely. That game's been in development and test for what seems like years. So we're 18 seconds in the lead, 19 now. We've got what seems like 6 laps remaining on the fuel. We're 10 minutes in. We're going on to lap number 6. This seems an extremely rapid car. We did a 210, then a 214, then a 212.2. A 212.1. Those 212s are extremely quick laps. And we want to rev this car out. Look at the boost building in that turbo, just pushing, pushing, pushing. Now Braked herself a little bit there. Yeah. However, wheel-wise, we're just going to have a few interrupts as I struggle to keep the wheel connected. You'll see them edited and you'll know what they are, but they unfortunately are a failing driver from Fanatec. Not a failing driver from Doncaster, that's me. But 26 seconds in the lead, just as it starts to go dusky night time. We can just see the sun starting to dip now behind those Benelux mountains. It's just dipping down. Just running wide of the line. Wonder if we get a penalty for that. I think we strayed over that white and green line. We're now going to switch to the rain view. Yeah, we've got it, bottom left hand corner. It's coming in. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's there. I think the lyrics were actually, it's coming up, it's coming up. And it is. It looks to be fairly moderate stuff as well. It doesn't look to be overly splashy, watery stuff. Tyre wear still remains pretty constant, pretty even, all four wheels. Maybe the rears are slightly wearing faster than the fronts. That was a 2:11.2 that previous lap. And the reduced fuel is certainly starting to show. We are going quicker. Braga goes to the pits, 27% fuel. He's in need of a new set of tyres. They're saying searching for a set of new tyres. All came out wrong. There's been lots of inquiries about the new rig. Lots of people saying how good it looks. Am I happy with it? Lots of questions. What do you think, etc. What do you think about Logitech? What do you think about Fanatec? Well, you know folks, I have often talked about this in the event, and I don't want buyer's remorse or buyer's regret. I don't want to say at the end of it, I wish I'd bought this one, I wish I'd bought that one. I just want to make sure I was spending the money in the right place. I spent £2,000 on this wheel and pedals. Did I do the right thing? For £1,300 I could have had the Logitech, and I think I would have been over the moon with it. But I think I would have soon wanted for more. There's a faster lap, a 2:10.685. We haven't yet to enter the rain. Seconds ahead of Mr. Hazal. Fastest lap of the race, a 2:10.685. Just starting to feel the grip go from the tyres. The cool night air is also affecting the level of grip, so the tyres aren't as sticky as they used to be. These medium racing tyres certainly do have some traction, as we are just starting to over push the car for where they are. The rain is just starting to show itself. We're just going to have to back this down a little bit, try and be a little bit conservative. Probably a long way back from that last lap time. That if this is a 2:14, I'm going to be kind of happy with where it's at. See the rain falling now. There's visible drops. There we go, a 2:14.5. Let's try and keep those lap time there. As we start to lose a bit of the grip that we used to have. 55, 56 seconds in the lead. So what do you think of the new camera? It's a little bit wider angle, it's a little bit of a different shot, but it seems to be sufficient. We are closer to the camera, and this is one of 3 cameras that I've got. 2 of them really do give us quite a close-in image, but this one's a bit camera fisheye lensy, kind of. There's plenty of room around me, at least. If there's a zoom function where we could take it in slightly, but you should be able to kind of see where my hands are right by the wheel. But we're going to run that wide. Probably get a penalty for that because we didn't back off. Drifting the rear. Cheeky use of first gear. We should be coming round to lap our first car, which is normally somebody from the Spanish districts. We'll have to see who that's going to be. No real significant rain yet. We've seen some splashes, some droplets. But we're also going to be needing to pit soon, so we've got to make a choice about what we need tyre wise, whether we're going to stick on the hards or whether we're going to go to an inter or a full wet, depending on what the cloud brings. It looks like the cloud's going to disappear. I'm not entirely sure we're going to be forced into a situation where we need to go to a wet weather tyre. We just have to see what we've got. We really are pounding those tyres though. 2:12.7 on that last lap. We're back to the fasties again. If we can do them, we might as well. Let's just double check where we are on fuel. 1.6 laps. So this is actually the last lap before we pit in. So we've got to make a choice of what we want. And if there's no real rain, we've got to make a choice to carry on, haven't we, on the racing hards? That's where we've got to be. There's no other choice. Looks like we're about to enter just a small brief period of rain, and I can see it coming down. If we were in car now, I'm sure the old windscreen wiper would be on, and it is. It's very compact view whilst we're in there. Who was that we came past? Was that the Nissan? It was, wasn't it? Yeah, so we've got half the depth of rain there. Now there is rain on the track. 0.9 laps of fuel. I'm actually going to just push that one more lap. I don't think there's enough knowledge out there for me to determine what's going to happen next. I need to just push on that little bit more. So we've dropped the fuel map. This will be a slightly slower lap. But there's some darker rain clouds coming. That's splashing down that little bit more. $2,100 miles driven in this car. Mr. Gallo, so we've lapped up to 14th place. Mr. Gallo getting the blues, but not really wanting to give it up like me last night with Sam. I allowed Sam to chase me down until I ran out of juice and slid off left onto the grass, and he came past me then. Wasn't racing him, I was just trying to stay ahead of him to try and catch JB. Oh, what's happening with the rain cloud ahead now? It was a good idea to stay out here longer. Don't think we'll get another lap of fuel out of it though. I think we're going to have to just stay a little bit reserved. That last lap was a 2:16. Gonna have to just see what comes over the hill. Is it a monster? Oh yeah, it's definitely coming. I think we're taking inters looking at what's coming. Look at that lot down the bottom of there. We're going to have to make a choice. We don't get these indicators in the garage when we're in there, and I think it's inters for sure. Look at the depth of rain. I think it's only going to get worse. Let's get it into the pit lane. Let's put on a set of inters. Definitely inters. Take all the fuel. Let's hydrate. So you're going to start to see the livery designed by JB Designs with Make-A-Wish and the Widdowmaker channel and Amiga, GT Amiga as the main livery items. I'm very proud to be supported by GT Amiga. I actually have a purchase code, a discount code if you care to use it. Visit www.gtamiga.co.uk and use my discount code WIDDOW, WIDDOW, for a 5% bonus, a 5% off your order. So with that, the channel is going to bring to you the opportunity to race in the Le Mans 24 hour. If you and some friends really think that this is something that you could potentially want to do, and that's compete in the full 24 hours of Le Mans and be able to take part and run for the full 24 hours and a full cycle at full speed, at full fuel use and full tyre limits, this will be the one time with the Widdowmaker channel that you'll be able to take part in this Le Mans event. We're going to do it in support of Make-A-Wish. So we'll be hosting, well, I'm going to try and host 2 teams from my venue here. The reason we're going to have to be in one venue is because unfortunately GT7 does not have the ability to the host team event. You can't swap in drivers in and out of the same car. We would unfortunately have to run with a team name, the host name of the team, and then the drivers hop in and hop out. So we do have 4 teams currently entered, although I need to make sure they get their entry forms. I've got 4 people who have shown a wish to take part. We have a solo entry. We We may have, as I say, 2 teams from here. I want to run a GT1 and a GT3 class, and we would try and get 2 rigs set up in this house. One G29, one full Fanatec as we've got here. That would be nice, with 6 dudes. And if you're part of the Widdowmaker racing team, you'll get priority to come and be part of this event. What I'm hoping to do is allow my teammates to open and close the race, so I'll give them that opportunity, but that will allow me to commentate on the start and the finish of the event. I will be taking racing stints, I will be being part of the team, but I also plan to make it a fundraising event for Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish is very close to one of our community's hearts. Big Popper, really nice, genuinely nice guy. I try and do something for everybody who supports the channel, and this is my way to give back to him for everything he's done to support in the channel. I'm going to attempt to raise a sum of money for Make-A-Wish, and to just get past those 2 bad boys. I will donate all of the donations taken through the race. I will give them to Make-A-Wish, of course, I would have to, and anything my channel earns through the YouTube element for the month of June will go to Make-A-Wish. Whilst I'm only a little YouTuber, a little content creator, I think if I can donate just a little bit, i.e. what I earn and what I take over the channel, I don't anticipate it'll be a phenomenal amount, but I genuinely like to give that little bit back to Make-A-Wish. For those of you that don't know what Make-A-Wish do, they give children the opportunity to do things they'll probably never get the chance to do in their lifetime. Children who are disadvantaged or potentially won't have the opportunity to see the later life. It depends on which organisation we refer to. Make-A-Wish USA. I appreciate I was talking about Make-A-Wish at that point. Whoa. So we suffered another wheel disconnect there. Hopefully that'll have just been seamlessly cut, so you won't have seen that. However you will. So Make-A-Wish in different parts of the world can do different things for different people, different children. What I know is Big Popper supports them through taking his vehicle and using his time to give passenger rides and support other events in the USA, in his part of the world. And whilst I not associate with Make-A-Wish in the UK, I fully believe that all of the money that we give will go through Big Popper into his channel. So it's a global channel, so it doesn't really matter where the money goes, because it'll all go to the same charity, but the idea is that I give back through Big Popper. You can trust me that everything earned will go, and a full honest declaration of what I earn will go into the Make-A-Wish pocket. Well, that was extremely dodgy. So right now, as we were chatting through there, we've come through the rain, we're on a set of inters, we've stopped once, we've managed to leapfrog a pit stop by just getting that extra lap in. We just pushed that little bit longer to try and beat the rain, and we made the right call. It looked horrendous, but having run this race a number of times now, I kind of know what the rain's going to do and how long it's going to last. So you can also gain that experience and understanding by running this race this many times. Can't quite handle the car being all over the place though. But as we also know, the track is drying out. And these inters are handling it nicely. The last lap of 2:42, which had a disconnect in it just as we got to this part of the circuit. just outbrake to self there. Got headlights looming behind me of a car travelling much quicker than we are. So for the full 24-hour event, if you do want to take part, please make sure you try and get a team together. I think it would take a very special individual with a lot of dedication and great ability to drive through the night and through the early hours to be able to solo this event. But please do make sure you do it in a safe way. Please team up with people you know. Don't always invite a stranger into your house. And I'm not saying every stranger is a psychopath, but as long as you know these people, please take care. But alongside that, folks, I think it's going to be a tremendous event. And what will happen after this series of grinds here at Spa is we're going to take all these cars that we just ran round Spa on, and we're going to do the same similar event on the 30 minutes of Le Mans with the cars that are going to enjoy this event. So the GR1s, the GR1 Historics, and maybe a couple of other little gems that we haven't discussed so far. So we're still wet track. We've got these tyres just starting to show a little bit of wear. These inters are certainly gonna ride well. We're lapping 6th place, believe it or not. 6th place has just shown me the way. So let's focus back on the race. We're on lap 15. We have got 25 minutes of the race remaining. The track is just starting to develop that dry line. We can see it. It looks like everybody's running a wet tyre. Mr. Cookerman just diving up the inside there, making a lunge. He's going to overrun, I think. He does. He came through there a little bit hot. We are much slower this wet weather. Had a couple of incidents, didn't we? So the rain map is completely clear. There is nothing there. The rain has gone, washed through. We're going to pick up a penalty there. It wasn't a deliberate intentional act, but there we go. Will these tyres make it till the next round of rain? Because there's always a second round that comes along. Our intention is to just run these tyres as long as we'll go. And just to finish, how do you enter the Le Mans event? Well, folks, you send me a message. You either get in touch with me at Widdowmaker10144 or on my email address, which is posted below, aund27@btinternet.com will get you through to me, or btopenworld.com. Send me a mail, let me know, and I will send you back an application pack. And it's not really an application pack, you're not applying to join. We'll take the first 14 or 15 teams that come along. You don't have to raise money yourself, you just have to come and do the event and be available to be part of the stream in some way, shape, sense or other. There is a prerequisite as the morning sunshine bursts through, and that is you need to have me as a friend on PSN. If you don't have me as a friend on PSN, then you can't join the server and you can't be part of the race. But it would be great to have all our supporters taking part, people who watch but don't normally take part or join us in the race, and it'd be tremendous. We already have possibly 2 teams from the USA, maybe 1 from the Belgium, maybe 2 from Holland. Did I say Belgium? I meant Holland. Maybe 2, definitely 1. We may get a team from the Sweden if we could get a Swedish contingent going, but I do know there is some 8 or 9 hours between our Swedish races. We have 2 gentlemen in Australia that race with us occasionally. I wonder if they would put a team together. Again, one is probably in Queensland and one's in Cairns and one's the other side of Australia in Victoria or wherever. Adelaide or whichever state or city we're going to talk about. But if we could get somebody from down there, that would be tremendous. I do know Flameburst is over in the Philippines, and I'm just not entirely sure he could put a team together, but you never know, he might do. He's a great supporter of the channel, so. But we'd like it to be a totally global event. And I genuinely like people to take part and have fun. That's the key thing. To be able to finish and being part of that team would be tremendous. Now I don't think these tyres are going to get us to where we need to go. I'm trying to run them in as much of a wet patch as possible. But they're not loving it. There's 20 minutes to go. Just try and keep them cooled down just a fraction, but they're not having it overly. So I'm going to go to the pits and see if we can now get set up for our last stint. It's 20 minutes all the way to the end. Just as we enter the pits, the controller disconnects, but we're back in command. That was really quite interesting, wasn't it? So for the final 20 minutes we have a full tank of fuel. The track is drying. We've gone to a set of mediums. Everybody else is coming in as well, so this was impromptu. This will be wet coming out of here, so just at the bottom of the screen, look, the biggest stormy rain clouds you can imagine. That was a bad call, wasn't it? We're going to get one lap in as we crossed that white line. It just threw us everywhere. I cannot believe we've pitted in, and then it's absolutely caught us on the hop. We were lucky enough to make the right decision last time. This time we pitted in. We should have gone that extra lap. That would have told us the difference. Look how fast it's coming in. We've got to get round as quickly as we can. Get back in and get some rain tyres on. Somebody said to me last night, you are so lucky with the rain. I can promise you today I haven't. Look, there's red rain in there. Absolutely red rain. We have to go, great guns. I don't know if we're going to make it back to the pits before this hits, but we've got to try. The track is absolutely dry on the racing line. We're going to get no time whatsoever. This is just going to come and hit us. Ooh. Miazano's gone in. See if we can get in there. We can, but we've lost it. Oh, we've hit the wall. I think it's full wets. No need to take fuel. Oh, what was going to be a tremendous race. Potential record-setting pace. We only needed to do 6 more laps. Oh, complete 6 more laps and roll on to the 7th. Which we potentially still have time to do, but we've got another pit stop to do that looks up 40 seconds. So let's put these full wets on and let's get out there. Let's see if we can start to side through traffic. I have no real concept of where we are in terms of lapping people. 16 minutes 20 seconds to go. That livery resplendent there with Make-A-Wish across the top. Mr. Fraga gonna hold me up. Am I gonna be allowed to overtake him in the pit lane? We're well into that rain now. If we'd only made that one extra lap, we'd have known, wouldn't we? Well, you take a wish. You make a gamble. It's rain tyres. Come on, man. It's wet tyres. That's the record chance gone. Really wanted this car to show well. But then again, it's a driver failure. Look how deep it is. Miazano is actually leading the challengers in second place. 75 mile an hour in first. Less than 15 minutes remaining. Just 6 hours of the race, all told. Imagine this at Le Mans. The full 3 hours of rain. It would make it hard work, wouldn't it? Oh, just get back on the gas and plough it through. If we get a penalty, we get a penalty. Nobody's going to the pits at this point. The end of the rain is nigh, though. See the end of it. Let's just chase on down. Mr. Grady just Being hyper careful through that apex. Mr. Solace there took a little bit of a twist down the straight. One thing this car does is it has tremendous downforce through the corners, which leaves the GR3 cars just in the way. Ooh, see if we can hold it. We just did. About to get some. Well, we're just at the back end of heavy rain, but that's not it. There's a little bit more heavy rain to come. We are 2 minutes 31 ahead of Miazano, which is a rain lap, isn't it? Really. Boubois in front of us, who's in 6th, which would suggest we're just coming up to the lead pack to lap. That's an interesting wide line Boubois taking through there. Must be his race line for the wet. Just gave him a little tap there, which we didn't need to do. To that final green section, that is going to book it down now, just for the final crescendo before the rain finishes. The rage before the calm. (10 minutes 34 remaining of the race. We've been dealt the worst of the weather, haven't we? Oh dear. Here's Boubois, he gives me that tap back. That was just, well, tit for tat, wasn't it really? A car that was charging the early laps. Laps 1 to 8 were all record-setting laps, potentially showing the way to a real record-setting event. And then we look at the list there from maybe lap 12, giving away almost 15 seconds or more, sometimes a minute or more, looking at the rain and how slowly we were going in that rain. We're on race tyres when it absolutely bucketed down again. But it's still a victory, and it still shows what this car is capable of. You wait till we get it to Le Mans, where it really is going to start to shine. And we'll see if we can get it to win at Le Mans like it's never done before. sun's out and it's still incredibly wet. We're expecting a nice drying line to appear very soon. These tyres have really not started to wear yet, so cutting our way up through the leaders now. These are going to be the fastest cars on the track, and we've got to try and just encourage them to move out the way, I think is the best way to say it. So fastest lap of the race is ours at 2:10.685. We're going to be looking to, oh my word, we're going to be looking to a point where we can choose to shed these wet tyres, get onto some dry tyres. There's Hizal and Kukabun. So Kukabun's taken up second place, and this is quite a race between these two. Kukabun looks like he's got the pace. Just looking at the screen to the right hand side as we go wide. Don't normally go wide there. Oops. That's what happened when you get distracted by a screen on the right hand side of you. Just got nudged sideways there. Just a little tap on that back right hand corner was enough. We've got to ditch that penalty, and we're back down to 6th place. But we're not in 6th, we've lapped the guys. Five minutes 55 remaining. If we pit, there's going to be 2 laps remaining. If we charge now and attempt to do some semi-decent laps, I think we're only going to get 2 in. So it's going to be a 25 lapper, which is such a shame. But that's the roll of the dice with the rain and the weather. We'll take the penalty. We've been taking them all night and day. 1.5 seconds. Oh my lordy. We'll let these tyres cook just a little bit. Mr. Hizal, come on, this is where it got to a lap ago. What we know is Hizal is going to just get away from us for that 1.5 seconds, isn't he, again? I think I deliberately ran him into the wet there just to allow him a moment's respite. I don't think we're going to get off these tyres. There's Mr. Hizal, he checked up this time. Now we're chasing Kukabun down. Try and put him a lap behind. Need to try and get this car onto the 25th lap. It's going to actually work out to be one of the slowest cars caused by the rain. And a little bit of shady driving. Should be able to get one more lap in. What we like for fuel. 8 laps of fuel were good. Got to give up that penalty again. Will it be 2 seconds this time? No, it's just the 1. And the fuel map. Let's get that up. We've been on the lower fuel map, haven't we, since the pit stop? We've needed that to just try and control in the wet, and that's probably another mistake. Running really slow lap times. That's the difference, just charging past now. The rear tyres are starting to really cook. There we go then, 1 minute 8 seconds to get to the line. Spend that penalty. We've got plenty of fuel, it's just the tyres that are going to give us a little bit of an issue on the final run round. We still can't get through our rouge without shooting off to the left though, could we? We'll go on to lap 25 just to rescue a little bit of pride. Go. 9 seconds remaining. There's Mr. Rubilar. He isn't the last on the track. But our rears are really starting to show some pain. So the time has ticked down to 0. Mr. Cookerman looks like he's got Mr. Hazal lined up for second place, even though there's not a massive gap between them. Mr. Lopez in 4th is just going to miss out on a podium place. Miazano is there in 5th. Mr. Wilkins 6th. Mr. Grady has already taken the flag. Mr. Beauvoir already has, but some usual culprits not up there, like Braga, for example. His rears are starting to really give it up now. We're just gonna drop that fuel map to save the power through the back wheels. This lap doesn't really matter. The speed of that 2:10.685 probably is the fastest car we've used at this event over a single lap, and this setup is rock solid. if you could squeeze softs onto it and just make it go even quicker as we slide our way around the corner. But here we go, taking the flag to finish the race. The Toyota GT1 TS020 020. What a car. There you have it. As we get to the end with only 2 wheel failures through that event, we had a 2 failed stop challenge. There it is, Widdowmaker, 1 hour, 1 minute 47 seconds. Fastest lap on lap 7 was a 2:10.685. We only lapped the field twice, with Kukabun, Hazal, Lopez, Miazano and Wilk only being lapped the once. That was tremendous effort by him. As long as we get that clean race bonus, it's worth it. 1.5 million credits for an hour. There you have it, folks. New camera position. I'd love to know what you think and feel. And we'll deal with the wheel issues as we go. We'll see you on the next one. All the best, folks. Take care. Goodbye for now. See ya.